Good morning, everyone. It's Ann Huffman. Today is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how easy it is to create pattern overlays. So let's get started. First thing is to select the image, and you need to find one that has, larger pieces so that the pattern that you're going to overlay or place on top of it shows more of the design. So I'm going to go ahead and trace our mini. Again, when it comes to tracing, that is the basic that you have to practice so that you will get more comfortable and be able to get better traces. So you can either go to the top left under panels and find trace and click it there, but I like icons. I'm an icon kind of old lady. So I like to go to the right side, and I think it's the fifth one down. Some people say that it looks like a butterfly, other people say it looks like a piece of toast. Anyway, it is the trace panel. So I'm going to click on it to open that panel. Same thing happens if you, again, go to panels here and click trace. So the next step is to select the trace area. So I'm going to click on my mouse, hold it down, and just drag it so that I see this rectangle that is over the image. And the parts that are outlined in yellow are going to trace just perfectly, not perfectly, but properly. But you can see some jaggedness. I hope that you can. Get a little bit bigger here. Is not as smooth, but the default for the threshold is 45. So the software is saying this is perfect. You can just click trace and be done uh, with it. I like to smooth out some of the jagged edges. So I'll just increase this maybe to 49. And I'm just looking it over to make sure I haven't picked up any little remnants of something. I haven't, and I'll click trace. Let me go back to, well, I'll keep it at this size. Um, so now that the images come back on top, we can pull it off to the side, and we're going to trace mini. And guess I will go back down. That's a little smaller here. So we'll just keep mini here as our guide so we can compare the two. So what I'm going to do is click on the outline of mini, which is the line all the way around it. And I can get rid of this trace now for now and open up the color panel. And I'm going to give that a light color in the background just so we can see what is typically black over here on mini. If I made it black, it would be hard to see all of the other pieces, and I'll show you what I mean. Well, not just yet. I'm going to right click and release the compound path. And what are we saying when we right click and select release the compound path? Well, the software uses different language and words than what we use every day in our crafting. But a compound path is a combination of different pieces, compounded, grouped, welded together to make one piece. When we release the compound path, we are saying break it apart into all of the individual pieces. So I'm going to right click and say release compound path. Now it's all black. When I click off of it, it is difficult, at least for me, to find the different cut pieces in here that I want to add color to it to make sure that it is going to cut properly. Maybe you can see it, but it's a challenge for me. So I'm going to again click on something that is black in the original, and I'm going to give this uh, a different color. So this is that lavender. So lavender is the new black. So now that I've broken it apart, let me start with the pieces. So I'm going to click on this glove. I can go over here and click white, or I could have with the first glove selected, hold the shift key down, and then click on the second glove. Yes. And they both would be white. So far, so good. In here. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and continue to fill these pieces with color because, again, if they accept the color, then that means there are no gaps, no broken lines, and it's going to cut properly. I'm going to use a dropper tool to get the exact color in the original image for mini space. Now, when there's pieces that are going to show, your shirt is going to show through, which is around her face and her nose and her arm, I usually give it a loud or brighter color to remind me that I need to go back and remove that piece, punch it through, or knock it out, whichever phrase you're more comfortable with. And I'm purposely changing the color of the shades because again, what's orange, I'm going to remove it so that the black shines through, just like I'm going to remove this part so that the shirt or the bag will show through. Okay, no, I left off. Well, this little piece right here needs to be orange because I'm going to be getting rid of it as well. So I'm just going to, got these here, little piece here. I think I have traced everything. No, I need this part here should be the color of the face, the right color. No, I didn't use this dropper. There we go. And in between her eyelash, this black, that color. So I think I've covered everything that I need to do. So what I want to show you is you see these little white pieces that define her toes. They're small cut pieces that are so tiny that you may not want to even be bothered with them. But if you don't, then it doesn't define Minnie's toes on there, or this little crease here in the elbow, or even distinguishing the outline of her knee or her leg. So what you can do in that respect is I'm just going to click on the zoom over a particular area versus the whole image zooming in on it, is you can click on it and you can make these larger so that it makes better sense when you're cutting it out. And how large you make it, you see what the dimensions are there. I'm just making them a little bit bigger because, again, this is what gives more emphasis on um, her feet. And again, these are tiny pieces. So this is what happens sometimes. So I've got that. While I'm here, I'm just going to delete some of these little remnants. That we're not going to need. And let's see what size this is. It's a halfway decent size. But I'm going to make it a little bigger. And let's go up. And we're going to make this bigger. And these little three pieces here, I'm actually going to, let's see if I can do all three of them at the same time with the hand. I'm able to do make compound path. Yes. And what I did was cut it out, knocked it out, whatever you want to call it. See, you can see behind it. See the color behind it. that saves from it becoming too bulky when you have the black layer underneath, you've got the white layer on top of the black, and then you're going to put black on top of it to define the holes in it. No, if you're, whenever possible, and you can get rid of pieces, that's so much better. Now, this little piece here, I'm going to make it a little longer. Again, I just do not like all those small cut pieces. So I'm going to click here, hold the shift key down. I just want to click on the glove, and I'm going to right click and make a compound path. And I'm saying go from two pieces to one. And it did that. So now to get rid of this piece in between, I've selected it, and I'm going to select the outer edge of the image, right click, and make a compound path, and that makes that go away. Now with her face here, you can tell um, this can be knocked out altogether because it's going to be black underneath. So let me put the pieces back together here, and I'm going to select this, hold the shift key down and select the outer edge. I think, well, actually, no, it's sitting on the face. So that's where you have to try to, find out where is the piece at. Is it on the bottom layer or the layer right beneath it? And this one is on the layer right beneath it. So I'm going to select it, hold the shift key down, and I'm going to click on the face. Come on, right click, make compound path. And then I'm going to send the face back a layer. Oh, went back too far. Backward. And I needed to go backward again because I lost the white part of the eye that I need. I lost my white part. Oh, so it is on the bottom layer. Okay, that's what happened to it. It's good when these things happen to me so that while you are here, so I'm going to click here. Into the back. This. Still missing this piece. Let me just play around with it and I'll tell you how I was able to resolve it. Okay, I realized what I was doing wrong, and I was selecting the white of the eye, the black of the eye, and the face, and that's why it was not allowing me to make a compound path of it. So you'll get a chance to see how I fix this as we begin to do this one. That's why I made them different colors. Because as you can see, this is a piece that you can make any color, any pattern, any design, or whatever. But I wanted to cut through this blue piece. So, and when I did that, uh, this, right, let me see if I can send it backward, and I'll just keep clicking backward. Okay, I think I have all of it. So I'm going to continue to hold the shift key down, click on this orange, and I want to make the compound path. Okay. And same for this piece. So I think I have it all set here now. So I'm going to click on this outline, this bottom layer, and I'm going to make it black and go back to the regular size. So yes, there we go. We have it all. Let me get rid of the standard line. So we have the trace that is set with Mini. So I'm going to duplicate it. Always make you a copy of whatever you're working in. That is one smart rule. And the other one is to continually save your work, especially after you've done some advanced features to it. Because yes, the software does an autosave, but if you crash before in between the autosaves, it's only going to restore it to the last time it saved it. So you want to make sure that you're doing it. So I have this one here now. Um, what is this line called? Okay. And so now it's time to that one over there to create the pattern overlay. And you can get any pattern design that you want. I got this off of Google. So I'm just going to make it bigger here. I don't want the Louis Vuitton part down there, so I'm going to select rectangle, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle over the part that I want. Hold the shift key down, grab the image itself, come over here to the crop modify panel. Again, you can do it over here. So I'll do that. Where's my modify? There we go. And I want to crop. So all I have is the pattern. I may as well just keep this out because that's what we're going to be doing. So with her skirt, I'm going to hold the shift key down, grab all the little pieces that are blue, and I'm going to group them together. Um, and again, I make a duplicate. So I have this one, and let me make a duplicate of this design as well. We're going to use it in several places, so we're probably going to, need maybe about 4 or 5 different copies of it. There we go. So I'm just making the pattern smaller. I'm going to see. I'm going to bring up the fill tool because I want to make this pattern transparent for right now, just so that we can see the blues, and that goes to the back so that we can see it, see where the placement is, see if we like the way the design is going. I'm going to select both of them and come back over to the modify and say crop, and I'm going to group them all together. I can take this one off. Let me bring the transparency, the opacity back up. And I put this on Mini. Uh, the next one is her bow. So I'm going to click one part, hold the shift key down, grab the other. Should make that little one there bigger. I'm going to group it, come over here, shrink it down even more, transparent so I can see behind it. Move the bow, I think is on the top. We'll send it to the back. And I'm just shrinking this pattern design even smaller. And now we will crop, bring it, opacity back up, group it. Let me grab Minnie. I know that she's black back there, but I want to probably make her gray is too gray so that you can really see the pattern design. Huh, and somehow I left off some of this blue. Let me duplicate this. Okay. Okay. Uh, I left off some of the bow as well. Not really seeing all of the pieces too well. So let me just shrink this pattern down some. I'm getting ready to do the shoes. Okay, that's all I'm gonna grab on the shoe. Okay, looks, there we go. I'll send it to the back, shoes to the back. Okay, I have the shoes. And crop, put it back together, bring up the opacity, and let's put it back on the shoe. On the shoes being black, her being black, it is so hard to tell. I should have had a lighter color. Guess what I can do? Oh, glasses. This piece and this piece. So we have all of that together. I'm going to group it. And you don't have to use the same patterns. That's only up to you. Mix them around. So I have that. Is the pattern is way too big for these little glasses. So this might show up pretty good. Make sure that it's on to the front. Select both of them and crop back together, back up. Let's see. Let me zoom in here so I can see it better. Oh, I used my last piece. I used my last pattern, didn't I? Or did I? Smart. Smart, smart. Now that I have that, I'm going to zoom back in because that little area is too small for me to see it any other way. I think it goes right here. Okay. And let me close some of these panels, and there you have it. That's how simple it is to create an overlay. All you need to do is to trace your image, bring in whatever pattern you want, but this is for a print and cut. This is not where you're going to cut it on vinyl and weed it out. If that's what your intention is, then you need to trace the pattern as well. And so let me just go over here, trace it. Now we have this pattern that is traced. Um, we can down some, good bright color. If you just want to grab certain little pieces of it, I should have clicked on that as well. Both of them, you can do it that way, but I'm going to bring it back to here and say I want this pattern to be yellow, and I'm going to ungroup my other copy I had of Mini. This time I'm going to make sure that I have all of the pieces that go with this blue. Nope, still left some off. Okay, I have it all now. And it is in the back. And so I'm going to select both of them, go back to the modify panel, crop it out, group it back together. And now you have it so that you would be able to cut this with vinyl. This is a print and cut because the pattern is solid, has not been traced. This one can be done with vinyl. So this is what I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, as always, just post them on this video and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.